On a tranquil Wednesday night, my partner, distracted by her phone, casually remarked that I was expendable. Her tone carried no malice, no prelude of conflict, just a throwaway line, as if I were an obsolete device ready for an upgrade. The comment wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, crafted to sting. I held my tongue, swallowing the hurt, giving a slight nod as though her words hadn't shaken the foundation of our shared life. A decade of marriage, 10 years of dedication, compromise, and making sure she felt valued. When we met, she was struggling. I was the one who supported her, paid off her debts, championed her dreams, and offered the stability she'd never had. Yet now I was dispensable. That night, as she slept, unaware of the storm she'd unleashed, I made a decision. I wouldn't argue or beg. She didn't merit that response. Instead, I'd do the unexpected. I'd walk away, ensuring she felt every step of my departure. For weeks, I played the role of the attentive husband. I smiled, inquired about her day, prepared her favorite dishes as if we were back in the glow of our early years. Meanwhile, I quietly unraveled our intertwined existence. The house was mine, purchased before we wed. The vehicles were registered in my name. Our shared account, mostly my earnings, easily split, credit cards linked to my credit, revocable with a single call. I met with a lawyer, checked every detail, and ensured no loose ends remained. There'd be no surprises, for me at least. The moment came on a Saturday morning. She strolled into the kitchen, her usual air of confidence unshaken, oblivious to the fact that I'd spent the week dismantling our financial ties. "Any plans?" I asked, pouring her coffee. "Maybe catching up with friends," she replied, her voice detached. Then with a smirk, she added, "You'll be fine, won't you? You're lucky I've stayed this long." That was the final cut. I slid a thick envelope across the counter. She eyed it, curious. Inside were documents. The joint accounts emptied, her credit cards canceled, the car she used no longer hers, and a separation agreement awaiting her signature. "What's this?" she asked, her tone sharpening. "It's what you wanted," I replied calmly. "Freedom. A chance to find my replacement." Her hands trembled as she read the papers, the reality crashing over her like a cold tide. She was sharp enough to understand the legal terms, to see the safety net she depended on was gone. "You're serious?" she asked, her quivering voice betraying her. "You said I was replaceable?" I said, holding her gaze. "Now's your chance to prove it." For once, she was speechless. The weight of her own words bore down on her. She tried to backpedal, her voice softer. "I didn't mean it like that." But I countered. "You said it repeatedly in different ways. You meant it. That's what matters." She scrambled for control. "You're throwing away our marriage over one comment." "Not one comment," I said. "Years of dismissal." The exchange was calm. No raised voices, just the raw truth laid bare. The silence in that kitchen was heavier than any fight we'd ever had. Within a week, she was gone, left with no home, no funds to sustain the lifestyle she'd grown used to. Her so-called friends, who flocked to her when money was plentiful, disappeared when the luxuries vanished. Reality hit her hard and fast. At first, her messages were bold. "You'll regret this." Then they softened. "Can we talk?" Eventually, lengthy texts arrived. Apologies, justifications, claims of pressure, even accusations that I hadn't appreciated her enough. I didn't reply. Each message reinforced who she'd become and why I'd left. Months later, I spotted her at a cafe, sitting alone at a corner table. She waved me over, tentative. The arrogance had faded, replaced by something else. Regret, perhaps, or the harsh awareness of what she'd lost. "I've been wanting to talk," she said softly. "I was wrong. I thought you'd never leave. I thought you needed me more than I needed you." "That was your mistake," I said. "You assumed love was guaranteed, that I'd stay no matter how you treated me." She fidgeted with her coffee mug, then asked, "Can we fix this?" That's when I realized the power in walking away. "No," I said simply. "Some things shatter beyond mending. You made sure of that." She nodded, struggling to stay composed. As I rose to leave, I paused. You know, I added, everyone's replaceable. You taught me that. I just realized it applies to you, too. I walked out of the cafe without anger or resentment, just peace. The woman who once deemed me replaceable had learned what it meant to be replaced, and there was no going back.